Welcome to another episode of Resortera Wave. We're back. It's been a while, I think over 3 months. So today I'm joined by Oscar. Always great seeing you, Oscar. Um, you know, big games coming up, big games that happen, and so forth. I know that it's a very difficult situation as we see. You're a very, very fluent, or how would I say, a diehard Cruz Azul fan. And it was a difficult night last night, no?
Something like that. No, but yeah, thanks, Nate. Thanks for having me. It's good to be back. Like you said, it's been a while, but yeah, just big game, big. A lot of things have happened since our last pod, but yeah, can't wait to just talk some Mexican football.
I mean, Vasco Aguirre is back as manager, a Mexico manager
Since
with
then, yeah, I thought
yeah,
that was
yeah,
before. Yeah, you're right.
yeah. So he now has coached several games with El Tri. Um, back in the Final Four, was difficult to beat Honduras, no, in that fourth. But for you, when we look at the season and how is that it has played out, in Mexico, I think that's usually what happens. No, there's a liguilla and then there's the regular season, and those two sometimes don't mix well. It's like water and oil, no? It's like of course, the oil is gonna be the one on the top because that's how the chemicals and stuff work. But that's the champion and whatnot, no? And then the regular season is this whole weeks and weeks of good play. Um, one of the teams was a lot of foreign coaches in the league, no? Yeah, I think you heard that one a lot.
Yeah,
Very few Mexican. Um, but I think what I have to say right away is when I talk about the regular season and then the Liguilla, we can't disregard the excellent season that Cruz Azul had, in the sense of the style of play. No, and I think I mentioned to you that like every time I would see Anselmi's Cruz Azul, it's a spectacle. No,
yeah,
it's eye catching.
yeah. Champagne football is what I've been saying on Twitter.
Yeah, you've been saying on Twitter, and now a lot of now the script is sort of like, oh, they lost again against America, so all that stuff doesn't count anymore. It's sort of
Yeah,
meaningless, no? And
yeah,
even of course after what happened in the dressing room and everything with the reporter from Medio Tiempo, that
mm,
tarnishes a little bit the whole situation. But if we just talk specifically about what happened on the field, Cruz Azul was exceptional this season, no?
no. You summed it up there. Like I said, we played champagne football, and the reality is, I know sometimes we like to say like in Mexico a lot we think we see the game black and white. So like you said, we're gonna a lot of the journalists, sports fans in Mexican soccer right now, they're gonna kind of brush off what we did in the regular season. But and to be fair, that I don't think that's just us. I think the rest of the world does that too, even in like the big four here in the United States. Um, but yeah, I think just what we did this season was just it can't be swept under the rug. But I hate to like go back piggyback what you said where like the Liguilla and then the in season tournament. It's cliche, but it really is two different type of animals, right? And if you don't do well in this one, you can do something great. I mean, look at America. I mean,
Yeah,
eighth
yeah.
seed,
Hey,
San Luis
yeah.
too. We'll get into, but yeah, man. Like you said, and then all the off-field drama too. What happened yesterday too? That's going to be, the big focal point, and even like
And that's
everything.
not to say, yeah, of course that was a little bit, confusion and you kind of understand that it's a
No, even
heated
that,
moment.
even with the referees and stuff, like I get that
Yeah.
stuff too. But
But let's be
if we just
honest,
stick to the sport,
if we judge Alonso as a sporting director just solely on his decisions, what he's done in the last year or so,
yeah, 1 year,
they've
yeah,
been pretty sharp. I think they let it go Antuna, they let go of Huescas, and they
yeah,
brought in Jorge Sanchez. You can be a fan or not, but Jorge Sanchez was playing in Europe, and it's an expensive player at the end of the day, a Mexican national team player. But they you didn't notice that Huescas and Antuna left, and of course bringing in Romo from Monterrey,
and then
that also.
we spend money like No,
Yeah,
the
serious
structure,
money.
the plan and everything. We even brought in the Greek freak Yorgos too from Atlanta. We spent
Giacomakis.
big money on him too. And then Toro came back too, thankfully, which he looked really good too. I know he got like a little cameo against the Cholos game and even yesterday, but yeah, like you said, the project and everything is really, really. It looks really good.
What was the name
But
of the youngster that scored the golazo? Uh,
Omari Morales,
that was a beautiful goal.
yeah, with his left foot too. So
Yeah,
that was a quick little anecdote with him. I remember when was it? The last time I went to Mexico, Santi had just debuted, so like 2019. I remember seeing him, Omari Morales, because like the youngsters will go through like they won't go through the main gate. They'll go through like you've been to La Noria, right? You know, like
yeah,
that little
yeah.
entrance there. So they would pass by, and you know the academy players were like, "Oh, buenos dias," you know. And I remember he was one of them, and he always said it too, like buenos dias to all the fans that were right there, because some of them they would just like walk by or had the headphones in. But I remember seeing him, and he would always say like buenos dias to like all the players there. Anytime I went there and I saw him, now it's just crazy now that because of the rule too. People don't forget too that if it wasn't for that rule right now with kind of forcing the young players to play, that would probably wouldn't have happened either. So I don't know. That's it. I thought that was
No,
really
and
nice of
that,
him.
that props to Anselmi too, no, for believing in him in such a big critical moment and being, you know what, let's put him in and see what he can do, and I think you give props to Anselmi there. Um, so it's sort of this ideology. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of heavily, it's a heavily foreign coach league now, Liga MX, very similar to the Premier League, of course, different levels, but at least you appreciate that people like Anselmi come to Mexico and put in the work, and you see players like Amauri, that shines. Even
Oh
Huescas when he was
yeah.
there,
No, but even
Huescas blew up with Anselmi.
you shared that article with me that you wrote a while back where like Damien too. If we're gonna bring foreign coaches, I get like you can't even question some of the foreign coaches that are in right now. Like uh, se me olvida el nombre de San Luis. He was Pep's assistant.
Dominic Torrent, no,
Yes, Dominic.
and he coached in New York City too.
And Flamengo, if I'm not mistaken, too.
Yeah, that's a big team.
So like it's kind of like the Mexican players when they say there's too many foreigners here, like that's not the issue. If like I think if
It's,
you're gonna bring
it's like,
foreigners, you're
look,
gonna have to bring these like they're established, and these you bring someone like Anselmi in like your article that you mentioned, you bring coaches like that, Anselmi Osorio, that's gonna help the league.
yeah, no. At the end of the day, it helps the league. It helps the players. It helps player development. I mean, Osorio wasn't scared to play a 15-year-old, and the 15-year-old, what was his name, Mora, I think.
I think so, yes.
Yeah, and look how well he's done. So right now, Chivas, for example, they bring in this guy Oscar Garcia. Um, if you look at Oscar Garcia's curriculum, I know it's not like grandiose or whatnot. And you compare, for example, to Gonzo Pineda, who coached Atlanta recently. There's going to be a great pack of the media that would say, bring Pineda instead of Oscar Garcia. Someone like Piojo Herrera would say, bring Pineda
Piojo,
instead of Oscar Garcia.
or even him, Piojo
Or,
too, because he
yeah,
said
or him,
he
but
doesn't wear
he's,
it off.
but at the end of the day, a person like Oscar Garcia, who's coached, Red Bull, Salzburg, Brighton, I believe he was also in Belgium recently. You know that
He
experience, Pineda
puts.
doesn't have it, no?
Here's the thing, because I dealt with this too with con este, what's his name, Potro Gutierrez too.
Yeah, Potro
He got
Gutierrez,
his
another.
opportunity, right? And I said, even though in the beginning, like I was always adamant, like give this guy his chance, be patient with him. But
Yeah,
in the reality too, like if I was being really real, and the reality is, he didn't deserve that at all. The groundwork he did was nothing. If we're
yeah,
being quite honest, he got two under 17 finals, but okay, that's good. But where did you go from there? He didn't do anything. I think the most he did was he did a stint in Guatemala.
hmm
After 6 months, he came back. And
yeah.
then let's just give an example. And tell me, what did he do?
I mean,
You
he
know what I
was what
mean?
in Ecuador, no?
Y eso
with
that
Independiente del Valle, which is probably one of the best teams in Ecuador right now.
y eso es también that Potro was an ex-player, so the accessibility of ex-pro in Mexico compared to an assembly who's he's like us. We went to college. He went to college for a journalistic degree, um, and he worked his way up, working like all these in Europe with Juventus, the youth team down there. His work in Venezuela, Ecuador. Um, so the different type of groundwork and like just the work in general that
Well,
he put in,
look, right now, one of the cases is Efrain Juarez, no? He's in Colombia, coaching Atlético Nacional, which is not
which is good.
is the biggest team in Colombia, and he has the team right now in the league final and the cup final. I mean, that's remarkable. I mean, I don't. It's not. It's unprecedented territory for a Mexican coach, because he's somewhere else in a different territory, and let
But before
alone
that, Nayib, what was he doing before that?
he was being an assistant coach in Belgium and assistant coach in the United States. I mean, the preparation is insane. It's not easy to be, in a setting, and he was not coaching any team in Belgium. I mean, the Standard de Liège and Club Brugge, those are two teams that are important in Belgium.
See,
Um,
so yeah, I think that too. That I think that I include myself because maybe one day I want to be a coach. I got to do the groundwork. I
yeah,
just
yeah,
can't
it's the only way.
expect it just because I'm Mexican to be giving to be given the Cruz Azul job or whatever without putting any groundwork. You know what I mean? It's like with
Yeah,
anything in
yeah.
life.
And I think in Mexico, the generalization, that everything's against the Mexican, that's what everyone is drawing upon nowadays, no? And to a certain extent, it also speaks volumes of the lack of like a second division, or
That
the
too.
respect that the second division has. No, if we actually had a proper second division in Mexico, that is not so sporadic, or it's just minimalistic, I would say. Uh,
Just our football pyramid in general. It's just
the
it's not there.
the
The
pyramid is
structure's not
screwed
there.
up, and I think that affects also, because if you had a proper second division, and I know that they're gonna say we have a second division, but it's not proper. It doesn't feel proper. It feels fake, and I think that affects the building of Mexican coaches as well. No, that they got. You can't assume that, because there's a lot of money involved now. Also, you're not just selling tickets for the stadium. No, you're selling TV rights, and the team has to look proper, no, with an idea, with
Yeah.
the coach nowadays sells, no. That's the thing as well. It's like the Portuguese that landed in Manchester United. That has yeah, there's skill and knowledge, but also there's other factors that play in, that he got the job right with Manchester United. So I think that, yes, it's heavily foreign coaches right now in Liga MX. But I think in the long run, the more ideas there are, and even if that rule, the young player rule that is sort of ingrained right now in the league, something special can happen. Maybe it won't be amazing, but I think it's a start to something, no?
No, yeah. Just to finish off with this name, like you said, there might be. I'll even say there is some type of bias, like you said, because of the money now too. These teams, you want them to, they want to be Liguilla contenders minimum at least, for the TV revenue and all that type of stuff. But también, like, I think the Mexican also needs to be be willing to sacrifice a little bit more, do a little bit more groundwork themselves. Um, if you haven't watched La Volpe's podcast with Guardado, they mentioned the coaches, the situation. I don't know if you saw it.
I saw
I think
bits of it.
it's it's perfect. Really quick to just sum up what they said. He told me that was it Menotti? I forget the coach who La Volpe had. He was in
Menotti.
Mexico. Menotti. Um, he had like a training session when he was with Atlas, right? I believe, or well, he was working in Mexico. I forget what they were working on, but he said he invited La Volpe to go do for a practice. And during his time there, he mentioned how like no Mexican coaches ever went up to just go see the training sessions or just see, hey, you know, can I get some advice or etc. And then I don't want to compare us, but one that really pops into my head right now is the kid from Arsenal, one of Mikel Arteta's assistants, where he was like outside Atletico Madrid's training sessions. Hey, can I? I'll be ball boy. Can I? I just want to see the trainings. I just have questions I want to learn. I think we just need more of that with the Mexican coach and player, to be quite honest. So the
Yeah.
interest isn't there. We just want kind of give it to us too. But like I said, there's some
Yeah,
type of
no,
bias
and
towards the
it's that
former.
idea of how much information do you take, but also how much information do you want? No, it's like the skill or the talent by itself won't get you to the
Where you want
biggest
to be.
level. No, it has a lot to do with the accumulation of information.
Yeah. Like be
Uh,
proactive versus just reactive more than anything.
yeah, or understand the whys. No,
Yeah,
why
yeah, yeah.
do I play this way, or why are we playing certain ways? No, why is the Liguilla like another monster and the regular season is different? No, which sort of brings the topic to Jardine. No, Jardine right now, in my opinion, he's already one of the greatest coaches in America's history. I mean, just the way that he has been able to manage the team, because people forget that America is always filled with pressure, the pressure to win and the pressure to be a winner and so forth. And a lot of managers break apart at a certain point, and this guy is not breaking apart. I mean, he's just finding ways of how do I make this player better? How can I get the best out of this player? You know, and I think that player manager relationship that is so important nowadays in the game, he masters it. I mean, I don't think there's been a coach that has had that sort of influence and impact in a team like Jardine has had with America. I mean, it's just, and like you said, maybe they were bad in the regular season, but also keep on consideration all the injuries and how he had to like manage through like new faces. And then now that the crunch time came in, you know, you saw the DNA, the winning DNA. They weren't
Mm-hmm.
scared, and other players that you didn't expect were gonna shine are shining now. Ramon Juarez, to a certain extent, Alan Cervantes. That would have thought Alan Cervantes playing for America.
Even Sendejas, he's quiet, but when it matters,
Dejas, when it matters, he scores. And also, when you have Kevin Alvarez, he's been criticized a lot, and the dude has been stepping up in these games. Chicote Calderon, he left like a laughing stock from Chivas, and now in America he's like playing well. So I mean, I think Jardine right now, it's just insane what he's done, and it's another type of coach that, he came to Mexico to San Luis, but he had a book of work already in Brazil, and now he's just building more and more.
mm-hmm. No, like you said, I think also también like I'm not to say everything's on luck, but everything that could work for him, it did too. And like I said, I think that too. He's able to manage the media really well too. I think that helps because he came from Brazil, which is another animal, to be quite honest. Even like you
Mm,
can see like the Argentinian coach over here. If you didn't coach Boca River, they get rattled so easily.
yeah,
Jardine was, I think he worked at Sao Paulo.
yeah.
I mean, if you guys haven't ever seen videos of like Brazilian fans, if you like play bad or you lose, go through bad string of results, there's like a corridor of fans just like screaming at you, telling all this things out of nowhere. But going back to it, but yeah, Jardine, like you said, he's top five already ever.
Yeah, I mean, I think when
Maybe top
you
three if he wins.
tricampeonato would be huge. I mean, he's going. I've said the word with a while back, but unprecedented. It's unprecedented territory right now with Jardine in America. No, it's essentially what Jardine has done with America is that odia my más thing.
He
Now it's
embraced it,
embraced it,
embraced it
and
to the
it's like
fullest.
just taking it to the fullest. It's and then props to him. I don't know what's gonna happen with his career, but I mean, it's looking like after America, he's probably gonna go back to Brazil. Probably coach in Libertadores with one of the teams up there, or maybe go to Europe. Um, you know, I'm personally. I personally did say that if he was available to coach the national team at one point, Why not?
Yeah, I think we both said it. We were like,
Yeah, I mean
let's just
it was him, no? That like if you're not gonna keep Jimmy, might as well give it to Jardine. You know the style and everything. Um, but you
to
know
be
that
quite honest, even if Anselmi or Jardine was available, I think I'd take Jardine just because I don't think we would be able. One, I don't think Anselmi would be able to do it. But if you see the background of Jardine, it suits. I think it suits us a little bit more. Also, I'm tired, kind of Argentinians in it. Let's put a Brazilian in there.
yeah, yeah. No, no, and the ideas I think, and it's a whole coaching staff really for Jardine. It's everyone has a very very influential role. Um, you know, when the regular season was going on, I told you my favorite teams were Cruz Azul and Toluca, and America
We didn't
eliminated
even talk
both of
about the
them.
Luca. Yeah,
You know, that's the thing, and America, you know, left them scoreless, no, to Toluca. Toluca didn't
yeah,
score a single goal.
yeah. Like you said, I think the thing is too. I think Europeans don't like the style too because when they talk about MLS, I think Zlatan that's the one that really pops up where he said he doesn't like the fact that there's like this playoff system. Like you can do well all through the season, and then all of a sudden the last place team could take you out, and he's like that just sounds stupid. But in my opinion, that's just I think that's the beauty of sports in general. Like, okay, you're the number one seed, act like the number one seed, then how come you get eliminated? I think that's by the eighth seed, right?
Yeah,
And I just think that's like you said, the beauty of the animal, right? Once you go through the regular season and once playoffs start, because teams turn into different animals. I mean, just to compare different sports, look at Miami. How many times Miami Heat finished like eighth seed and they're battling it out in the conference finals and even got to a NBA final? You know what I
yeah.
mean? Versus I don't know, like in Europe, City, how many times in a row have they won the league? The Liga, how many times did they won the league? Real Madrid or Barca, it's only them. Um, so I think that's the beauty about having the regular season and the playoffs. But I don't know, each to their own, I guess. But I think it just unlocks another thing in what you can see in different athletes. Like look at Jonah yesterday. He didn't have a good regular season.
No, no, no. But yesterday he looked
He
really good.
locked up. He locked up yesterday.
I mean, it was that difference, no? Like you said, like you can see Jonas' level, like everything that he learned in his career in Villarreal and Barcelona. You can see it in his game, and then you see someone like Charlie that is just he's not does he doesn't do anything spectacular. I mean, it's very like a straight line, or how would I explain myself? I mean, Gian Chato compared to Jonah. Jonathan is like up here, and Charlie's like way down here, and you see that just with the interaction on the ball. No, like he gets the ball, he knows what to do. Sometimes Charlie is he gets the ball and doesn't know what to do with the ball. No,
Well, I think it's unfair to compare them. To be quite honest, just because for me,
but it's the
Jonah,
same role. No, it's the
in
same role that they both
same
have in
role,
their
but
team. Yeah,
this kid grew up in the prime of Barca, right? You know what I mean? And Charlie went to a second division in Spain at
yeah.
best, right? And just the personalities in general. Just look at the people he grew up with in the dressing room versus Jonah. But like, I get what you mean, I guess. But
Yeah, no,
I think
no,
that's like
it's
experience more than anything too. También,
it's not to take away though from Charlie the fact that he's had a good season as well. I mean, he's an integral part of Anselmi's Cruz Azul, you know.
mm-hmm.
But maybe if you had a player with more character in that role, perhaps you know the difference
Yeah,
is there. No, maybe
that's
Farabelli too
true.
hasn't been so good. No, Farabelli,
Oh yeah,
but he's important for Anselmi.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
But specifically yesterday, we want to talk about tactical. I think what Jardina did was he congested the midfield, and he also picked the triggers of when to actually do the press. So if you saw, like you said, Charlie was pretty much dead, and I think in the first leg he had like four key passes just in the first half. In the first leg, yesterday he had zero,
Okay,
and that's because one Jonah was more. He did more of the dirty work yesterday. He allowed Fidalgo and
Renato.
Rich to just do what they wanted to do up there with the pressing triggers, but they kind of just prevented our midfield to like orchestrate what we have always did in that. And if I'm being quite honest, I think only the first half of the first leg is when we were playing champagne football on you guys. We were just dominant. Even in the second half of the first game,
Which,
we fell off
fíjate,
a little bit.
in that first half of the first leg, because he starts Sepulveda and he doesn't start Giacomakis.
That too, I wouldn't have started him.
I think Giacomakis should have started that first game. No?
For me, no. The way it was set up was good.
Sepulveda and Romo up top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The second half, I don't know what happened. We ran out of gas or something. We should have been up 1-0 minimum in the first leg, in the first half. Like I said, we started up here from the first half, and then we slowly started going down. We picked up a little bit when it was 3-3,
and then bam. Dude, I really thought it was over. With it was a 3-3. I was like, this is over. You can't get back after that goal.
Bro, I thought it was over. To be honest, I thought it was over 3-4 times.
I know. I was like over, and then over again. So I mean, it was a great game. I mean, I don't think like I told you at the start of the call. I mean, I don't remember a Liga MX game that was so spectacular. I mean, if you're neutral, that's what you want to see, no? I don't think Monterrey Rayados is gonna give you a game like that. No. The Rayados is very, very tight. I mean, the thing about Rayados though is they do have the individualities that can explode, no, at a certain moment. I mean,
if they did what they did to San Luis in their first leg with the house, then it could be game over. To be honest, but Jardino's he can cook, bro.
He knows his stuff.
He knows his stuff too. And then the thing is too, like you said, the injuries, he's getting all his players back.
And do you think that Aguirre suspension is gonna affect in that first leg? I don't know. I mean, nah. Henry was pretty good yesterday, to be honest.
Yeah, your boy Henry there. Yeah.
I mean,
I don't think so. Because to be honest, they just have to. If it can be 1-1, 0-0, 2-2, they just can't lose. Yeah. I think, or not lose or even if they go 2-1, they'll be fine. I think, unfortunately.
Yeah. No, but it's looking, like I said. I mean, it is looking like America is on the verge of the tricampeonato. I mean,
that's never happened, right? The 3
in short seasons, no creo, eh? I don't recall any in short season.
I know we did it like the long format.
Hey, in long format, pero short season creo que esta va a ser la primera, the first time. Yeah, which is crazy. I think León with Matosas could have done it, the tricampeonato, but then they disintegrated, I think.
Rafa left after the second one, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think if Rafa would have stayed longer, maybe.
Nayib, unpopular opinion, that team was a bit overinflated. It's good, but it's overrated.
For real. But Gullit, Gallito, Elias Hernandez, no?
Overrated.
Chapito.
Well, just look at all those players at the national team. They didn't do anything. Their level never translated to the national team. Sorry. And then, if I'm not mistaken, they got eliminated the first round of the Libertadores, round of 16. In my opinion, if you're back-to-back Liga MX champion team, you're minimum semifinalist. If you're that good as we in Mexico try to deem as they were to, they lost to like a nobody too. I don't even know the team. That's how bad it was.
That's true.
Look it up.
But the thing, like, for example, it's crazy. Like Chivas reached 2 Libertadores finals, right?
No.
No, 2, güey. They've lost against Sao Paulo and I think Internacional.
No, solamente Internacional. We've only had 3.
No, for real, I swear to God, I think Chivas made 2 Copa Libertadores
those bums, they got lucky the first time. No, but that was a good team. That's crazy, right? Though.
Let me see. Maybe you're right. It was only 1.
Yeah, it was.
Let me see.
Maybe they beat Sao Paulo in like the semifinals, leading to the final that year. But there was only 1.
Yeah, I'm looking here, trying to see if I find the information. Yo sé como que sí me acuerdo, man. Maybe I'm wrong. For some reason, I think I saw him in 2 finals. But you might be right. It was just one. The thing is, they were pretty good in finals. Digo, en Libertadores, Chivas was one of the main actors every time they would play.
Yeah, at one point though, they just started getting walked over though.
Yeah, that's true. No, but
But that's
those
because
was it.
that's because of their structure, um, more than anything, and their
Yeah.
business side.
No, but it's playing with Mexicans and all that stuff. But there were some games that I remember the Chivas and Libertadores. Damn, that was exciting. Omar Bravo, Marco Fabián, Ramoncito, Bofo. Phew. Hector Reynoso was really good too.
He was their like Pollo Briseño back then, but I think he might be better than Pollo, right? He more
So
character than
yeah, Pollo has had many mistakes to be honest, no?
Reynoso. That's the thing. He was simple too, Reynoso, because he kind of knew he was like a little, like the tronco syndrome in him. Like
Yeah,
you just have to keep it simple. He
yeah,
was, you know what? He was our Gary Medel, but a little bit worse.
yeah. No, but Gary Medel, man, he's something. The dude can move the ball. Gary Medel wasn't
Yeah.
scared to move the ball. That's it.
That's what I mean. Reynoso didn't have that, but he had that
Yeah,
aggressivity, like that old school Mexican center back. You just don't see anymore.
nah, that is true. One of the things that I wanted to ask you, what do you think about Alexis Vega, the way that he's been playing? I mean, because it seems that he's getting a lot of influential touches on the ball with the national team, even with Vasco Aguirre. He's like not more as like a 10, not so much as a striker.
I
Do you
mean,
see
I
him
think
as
he has a little
that?
bit of revival in his career since he went back to Toluca,
Yeah, it's
and
very
especially
strange to be
yeah.
honest.
And if I'm being honest, he looked good in the second leg. Right, that's when we won. Because the
Against
first leg,
Honduras, yeah, the
Aguirre
first
got it
like everyone.
completely wrong. Aguirre got it completely wrong along with the players. But the second leg, he was pretty pivotal in our attack. I feel like, right? He was like the kind of like the keystone in our attack more than anything. I felt
Yeah,
like,
and look,
um,
Raúl Jiménez scored another goal this weekend, no, against Arsenal.
yeah.
I mean,
I think
he's
I
on
told you this,
fire.
Nayib, right? I want to give this question to you now. Heading into the World Cup year, Santi, let's just say Santi stays in Eredivisie, has a record-breaking season, like 30, 35 league goals. Raul still at Fulham, but he gets 15 Premier League goals. Who starts? 15
Raúl,
Premier League goals and let's say like 5 assists, 6 or 7 assists.
Raúl starts.
Yeah,
I
right.
mean, it's just the thing that is very remarkable about Raúl is it's just it's crazy to be honest.
That
I
was a
mean,
clinical finish too. It's the goal contra against Saliba, my boy Saliba.
I mean, it's
That was
just
clinical.
the sheer dominance he's shown. Like, I mean, and the confidence as well. I mean, ever since that
It's the confidence more than
is the
anything.
confidence. He's just playing with confidence. He's
Even you know
running.
what, Naib? I take that back. And the second, like when we put Honduras, he was our best player on our front line
Yeah,
because
yeah. I
Alexis
mean,
wasn't getting involved. But once he did get involved, he looked a lot better. But Raul was dropping deep like he was like Harry Kane or something. You know what I mean? Trying to orchestrate, try to do something offensively, take on players.
well,
He
that
was
that's basically what Vasco just wants is a backbone right now. He really wants to find that backbone. From the striker, your key midfielder. But we're talking basically right now Raúl, Edson, and then a center back, no? Maybe Johan Vasquez might be the strongest suited center back for Mexico right now.
he was hurt though. That's why right? He didn't
Yeah,
play.
yeah. Pero I think that's his idea right now. And the goalkeeping, I think at the end of the day, it looks like Malagon will stay as a starting
Yeah,
goalkeeper.
I think we need to rip off the band-aid, but if he wants to die in the Ochoa pick,
Yeah,
then go for it.
yeah. The Ochoa right now, the fact is he's just not playing anymore. I mean, I think he's been out of minutes. If I was reading the other day, so
I still
that.
go Edson, no, pardon, Montes, Edson, and Johan as a back three. Romo as a center defensive because he's look Romo too, bro. Looks crazy. Looks
Yeah,
really good.
Romo.
Even with the national team, that second leg he looked really good. Even in the first leg, I don't know why they didn't start him. They as soon as he went on, it was a huge difference. But
Well, he still wants to give minutes to Luis Chavez, and I think Luis Chavez is just not in it anymore. I mean, the style doesn't fit him, or you really do need a
He's
speed
living
now.
off those 2 goals or 1 goal from the World Cup, if we're being honest.
I mean, he's scoring
It's
goals
not he's
in
bad.
Russia,
He's not
though.
bad. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
bad though.
he's scoring goals in Russia, but then again, it's Russia, no? It's a league that is very, very it doesn't even have that much influence right now. I mean, it's very obsolete. That's what it is. The league in Russia. Even Montes didn't look so good right now. Montes looked very, very slow in his decisions.
That's true.
And right now,
But
you got Ramon Juarez and you got Victor Guzman. We're gonna be in the final.
Victor Guzman, yeah, I would probably have him. The Juarez kid, I don't really like, if I'm being honest.
I personally like the character. I think Ramon Juarez has a very, very. I mean,
Okay,
he knows
but
his
Victor
stuff.
Guzman or Juarez? Guzman, like nothing. That's a no-brainer.
But seeing them
But
play
I'll say
together,
this: he could be, and then we kick Montes out. I'm good with that. He
yeah,
could be
I
behind
don't
the
see
next one
Montes. I don't see Montes getting that many minutes. And I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Montes doesn't start in the World Cup based on what I've seen right now. Um, I think there's other options. Even Chiquete now will be an option. Chiquete, who might end up in Cruz Azul. Who, if Chiquete ends in Cruz Azul, who sits?
in. I don't know. That's what I was. I was like, why we
Dita?
getting? Nah,
Because
no way.
Piovi, you can't sit Piovi.
No,
Piovi is the guy that you're orchestrator from the back.
that's what
Um,
I think it was. Unless one of them's leaving, Dita or Piovi. That has to only be the reason why we get him. We're getting him.
and the one that makes more sense that could leave is Piovi, because I think there was interest, no, from Boca or River or one of
Well,
those two.
those guys. As soon as they start calling,
Yeah, they
come
just
over.
leave for free. Shit. So I mean that's probably it. But Dita, I mean, you keep Dita and then you bring in Chiquete. I think that's a good pairing, no?
Hmm.
And then Lira's still going deep. I mean,
Yeah,
it's literally he's a center back.
depending. I don't know. I'm just thinking if let's say this Cruz Azul team kind of sticks together and it's the amount of Mexicans stay on the team leading to the World Cup. How much do you start? Because against Honduras that day, how many did we had 5 of them on there.
And then Orbelín, no? And even Piojo Alvarado. No, bueno, no, Piojo no, no. But who was it? Who was it? I don't recall correctly.
We had everyone except
Huescas was there,
Este
no?
Lira. What's that?
Huescas was also
That's
involved.
why. So Huescas,
Romo,
Romo, Guti, the good one.
Alexis.
That's the Chivas fans. Sepulveda came on at one point.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie.
Charlie también was playing. So I don't know. I mean, that's a possibility, and even now, well, what I've it looks like Fidalgo will play for Mexico, but he won't play for Mexico until 2026.
So he takes Charlie's spot then?
Definitely, no.
Yeah, I would. I mean, if we can get Jonah back too, shit.
Shit, that'd be good. But no, I think Jonathan is retiring from the national team. Um, so who do you see winning the league? Do you think it's gonna be America?
I think so, but I want Monterrey to win.
If Monterrey wins, what do you think has to work for them? Is it just solely Sergio Canales? He has to take over.
Like you said, just the talent of those players, especially from the way if they can just replicate literally just from the attitude and the confidence from the second leg they just played, I don't see any issues, to be honest. But
Yeah.
it's a final, and then let's be honest, Monterrey historically they're just as bad as us, bro.
No,
How many
and
finals have they? How many finals do they lose now? Especially with all the money they spent.
but I think also defensively, Monterrey. I don't. It'll be interesting to do what it was to see what he does. I mean, De Michelis was a center back, so you would assume that he will find ways to really structure the defense.
I think on paper, I just don't see how America loses. To be honest, Jardine just knows the league. He plays for America, who knows how to win. Versus Monterrey, like they're not a. They knew how to win, kind of, but not like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I won't totally disregard, the past of the Michelis and everything, no? Because
Oh
how many
no,
years
no,
did he play in Bayern Munich? Like 10 years?
something like that. Yeah.
I mean, the dude was basically coaching the youth teams in Bayern Munich, and then he
Yeah.
got the call from River Plate, and he came over, no? Um, so I mean,
Dude, I just find that so hilarious how those Argentines, as soon as one of those guys called, they dropped them.
well, it's like Rafa, bro. Rafa got the call from the national
Which
team.
is good. This is why. That's why I like. But
Yeah, but
hopefully one day I'm like coaching Boca River and like just to like kind of lean on the joke. If San Luis calls, like I'm leaving, guys. San Luis is calling me or Puebla or something. Not even Cruz
nah,
Azul.
shit. No, but I think defensively, Rayados is not so strong. So I mean that will play in favor for
Yeah,
America.
that is kind of weird, right? I did find the defense a bit like all over the place
Yeah,
from
because they
a
got
coach who
Stefan
was a center back.
Medina. They got Stefan Medina on the right. They got Arteaga's not good. He's so inconsistent. He's like Jalen Green in the Rockets, yo. There's some games that he plays really good, and then there's elite
Well, you know
level,
me,
and
I never really rated him, so
then, yeah. I mean, that's it explains why Tata Martino didn't start him. It was Gallardo all day. It wasn't Arteaga never had a chance against Gallardo. Even right now, I mean, I think Gallardo is back as is still as the left back for Mexico. There's just not another one.
who was playing this past one against Honduras?
I think that in the second leg, who was Gallardo. In the first leg, I forget who it was. I
Yeah, it
think
was
it
Gallardo.
was, yeah. In the first leg, I forget who it was. Shoot, I think it was one of the dudes from Toluca. Or no,
Yeah. It was the young kid, wasn't it? I forget
Guamerú.
his name.
Sepa la bola. So that's how we've been in the last months. We haven't been paying attention to the details.
That was a
Um,
rough one to watch. The
yeah,
first
no,
leg,
that
I was
one,
like,
shoot, that
jeez.
was a tough one. But
Angulo, perdón. I guess it was Angulo.
it was el de Tigres, and he wasn't good.
That her first leg was awful. Everyone.
Yeah, everyone. I don't know if it was a pitch or something. I don't know.
He got
Um,
it wrong completely. Everything.
yeah.
I
No,
mean,
they
just
were
the
lucky.
fundamentals. He put a right-footed center back on as a left back, as the left center back. Sorry,
Yeah,
Montes or who was it? Israel Reyes. To try to distribute the ball with the right foot with the pressing. It's just soccer 101, bro.
yeah.
Can't do that.
Yeah, no, to close out the show, Oscar, you nailed it with Liverpool, eh? You said Arne Slot was gonna be doing
You
good, and look,
you want to know? You want to? What'd you say about Man United again? What was Ten Hag gonna do? Confident as ever. Hear
I
me out,
thought,
bro. It's this Ten Hag. It's over.
man, it was bad. Now I don't know. I wanted to believe still that his Ajax days were gonna come about, but no, they never did.
You know how you know it was over too, con él? He doesn't know how to handle like the media. As soon as you saw him like handle the media, I was like, oh, this guy's done. This guy's done
Yeah.
early. He
That's
doesn't
crazy,
really
no?
try.
Like what you said, because this is the second time you bring it up. You say that Jardine, what his success is because he's been able to manage the media well, and I think that
That's
plays a
key. That's key in general. That and like you said, the man management. You can just see like perfect example is the Jonah situation. He was kind of like on what's to say on the edge a little bit before Jardine came along and he revived him, dude. I think it helped too because he spoke Portuguese, so like the
Yeah,
Brazilian
yeah. But even
thing.
right now, for example, Rodrigo Aguirre, he leaves Monterrey through the back door, and then he comes to America, and everyone was like, "Oh no, that's a dumb pickup and whatnot." The dude's playing for Uruguay now. He's scoring goals with Uruguay, with Bielsa. I mean, it's insane the turnaround, and that's all Jardine. It's insane. So we'll find out in a couple of days if America is a tricampeón or if De Michelis not even 4 months in the job. No, I think with
Yeah,
Rayados.
that's been kind of which is fair play to him too for that. We got to give him credit.
Yeah. I mean, it's at the end of the day, it's getting those results, and even if it was the easy path or whatnot, they still got it done. I mean, San Luis wasn't easy at all. San Luis, I mean, they eliminated Tigres, and they got their chances in Monterrey. I mean, it was just some luck. The goalkeeper was good, or the finishing wasn't there. But we'll see. We'll find out. Thank you, Oscar, for the time. I mean, great chatting with you.
No, thank you, Nayib.